We've got massive lore changes, and it's all about the Ultramarines. This is about the final fate of Acheran, which a lot of people have been discussing, talking about. Acheran is mentioned in there. My speculation, my theory seems to be 100% correct. And of course, even more updated lore for other characters like Captain Titus and his brand new role. So let's jump in, let's look through it all, because this is new and this is big. So let's jump over to this window as we always do, and it starts, like I said, with other characters involved in the Ultramarines. The first one is Acheran. Acheran is the current first company captain of the Ultramarines. If we scroll down, we get a little bit of lore about him. Though better known as captain of the Ultramarines veteran first company, Severus Acheran commanded the second company until the previous first captain, Sol Invictus, was killed at the height of the Battle of Macragge, more than 250 years before the opening of the Great Rift. Most recently, he's been appointed to the position of Techarch by Guilliman and ordered to reclaim Ultramar's northern borders, a task perfectly suited to his boundless experience and wisdom. We all know Acheran, right? He's basically a badass of the Ultramarines. The first company captains normally are. But there's new lore, there's updated lore with some like Lucian Trajan. No, not that Trajan, a different type of Trajan. Captain Trajan rose to the command of second company in the wake of Acheran's promotion. He had served under Acheran as first sergeant and benefited greatly from his former captain's tutelage. His tenure lasted for over a century of glorious victory until the battle against the Eldari craftwood Beltan turned sour. While defending an Imperial world from the Xenos, Trajan slew the enemy's Autarch in a single combat, only to learn that the retreating Eldari had taken one of his Ultramarines captive. Leading a squad to rescue them, he fell into the clutches of the enemy trap and was gunned down, leaving the command squad sergeant, one Demetrius Titus, to root the foe and recover his body. And this where Titus comes into it now, and we'll get to Titus in a second. We'll get on to Chaos Icarius in a second, because there's more stuff down here. I just want to focus on Acheran, because it's confirmed now that Acheran is dead. He's not a dreadnought. I was hoping that we would get like a badass Acheran Scottish bagpipe, you know, give them steel, boys, type of dreadnought, but sadly that is not the case. And the lore behind this is really, really cool. So it says, like many captains, Severus Acheran originally served as an officer under his predecessor, but was not with Chaos Icarius when his fateful voyage was swallowed by the thrashing of the Great Rift. He led the second company through many of the defining conflicts of the early Indomitus Crusade, seeing action on Vigilus. Don't forget, he released during the 8th edition Shadowspear box set, if I'm not mistaken. This is going, what, 6, 7, 8 years back? So his model is fairly new to be killed off at this stage. Again, seeing action on Vigilus within the Prime Nexus, in Ultramar during the Plague Wars, and in the 4th Tyrannic War. Most famously, he commanded the company when Titus was reclaimed during the Wars of the Readiness system. You may have encountered him yourself while playing Space Marine 2, which is probably most famous for with people who are probably watching this video and newer people who have gotten into Warhammer. Acheran's illustrious service came to an end upon a hive world of Trig? I probably butchered it. A vital and seamlessly loyal stronghold that safeguarded the Pyremote system from the Tyranid incursion. After a Mustorum survey vessel and its escort of Mordian Iron Guard disappeared, rest in peace Mordians, letting out a single psychic scream before vanishing without a trace, Acheran led a strike force to investigate, accompanied by his decorated lieutenant brother Chiron. Everyone says I say it wrong, right? I'm saying it in Low Gothic. You're saying it in English, so he's always going to be Chiron to me. So Chiron has been promoted, or he was promoted to lieutenant at this point. Of course, with Titus and him going off, it fell to him to then into that position, which is really, really awesome lore. But it gets worse from here. When they found, what they found was a powerful gene stealer cult embedded in the primary hive, their influence stretching from the Undercity all the way up to the spires, posed to crack open the world's defenses when the Tyranids arrived. The cult's uprising had already begun and threatened to spread across the planet. In order to contain it, Acheran chose to activate the hive's anti-atomic lockdown protocol protocols, sealing his entire force inside the city, which with a nearly endless horde of enraged cultists. The noble choice to sacrifice himself and his brothers kept the Gene Stealer cult bottled up and saved the world and the vulnerable sector from certain doom. Every Space Marine that landed on Thrag was slowly worn down in a series of increasingly desperate battles. When the Imperial reinforcements arrived to purge the last of the cult, they discovered that Acheran, Charion, we call it Charion again, Acheran, Charon, and the rest of the brothers had sold their lives to cull untold numbers of Xenos hybrids. So confirmation once again, that banner that we theorized the other day, and people said, why are you theorizing about this, Valrak? This is wrong. No, this it's just a little bit of marking they put on the banner. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Foil rack is back. Vindication rack is back in full effect. I told you, it made too much sense to have the bullet and the markings of those squad members on that banner, right? He's on that banner because it's basically like a dedication to him now. He may have died in the service of Ultramar, but we will carry him still into the battle against the forces of our enemies. That's it. It's cool. I like it. Great model. Cool little way of nodding to him. And then if we carry on with Titus, because the old Titus lore was basically what he's done. Now, this is Captain Titus now. Again, we've more or less got the oversight for it, but what it says, after his legendary victory against the Tyranids and the Thousand Sons and the Rededitor system, his survival on the seamlessly suicidal mission to destroy the Chaos artifacts on Zajul, again, hopefully I'm saying that right, I'm probably not, and further successes against Tyranids on several worlds in the Bastia subsector, which is really interesting because we've got no books, no media about that. Is that potentially where the next Space Marine 3 is going to take place? We're going to do a separate video about that sometime this week, so strap yourself in for that one. Titus was the clear candidate to succeed Acheran. Misgivings from many of his peers had long since been silenced, and Titus took up the role, swearing to honor his former captain's legacy as he leads a second company and fulfills the duties of the Master of the Watch, a responsibility of the role. One thing I do want to mention, right, in this article, it mentions nothing about Leandros, right? Leandros, it seems he didn't go down with Acheran and Charon or anyone like that. There's no mention of that at all. It looks like he was assigned to the second company as that chaplain, but there's no mention of his death. Leandros still lives. He's still out there silently judging Titus from a distance. It goes on to say it is now Captain Titus' duty to fortify the borders of the Ultramar and to fortify the borders of Ultramar and defend his chapter's realm, even as it expands at Gilliman's command. Every new conquest is another drain on resources, and his task is difficult in the extreme. But with his Wardrons of Ultramar adding to their substantial strength to his cause, an agile fleet of elite warriors at his command, Titus is exactly the Space Marine for the job. Then it says right at the end, you know, find out more in the 500 World stuff, which of course I've been doing a full lore breakdown with. But we've got some big confirmations now. Acheran dead, no Dreadrot, Charon gone. Right? He died as he lived. Rage and burning the heretics. I love you, Charon, right? I wish you were here with us, but you died. You died in the duty of the Emperor. So there we have it. Officially now, Acheran dead, Charon dead, and that is the new law. No mention of Leandros, as I mentioned. He's still out there, he's still swinging, and he's still judging us all. I'm definitely going to be doing more videos dedicated to this and where potentially the 500 worlds are going to be going. Tune in for them next week again. I'm going to do my Space Marine 3 hopes, predictions, because I think there's a lot of information out there now where potentially it could be going. I've heard some rumors about, like, you know, focus and what potentially could be that storyline and, you know, what happened with, like, the secret level trailer and everything like that. There's a lot of big things to discuss a part of this. But again, I'm going to do that in separate videos. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, I would love to get your thoughts on this, right? What do you think of Acheran dying? Again, his model, in terms of model sales, right? His model is only, what, 7, 8 years old? That is quite new in terms of new model. Let me know down below. I'm going to have a nice little chin wag down there, as we always do. See ya. Have a great day, evening, night, way around the world, and bye-bye.